Welcome to Floating Leaf Tea Podcast. My name is Showen.
And I'm Noah.
Yay. Welcome, Noah.
Thank you. Welcome back.
You back on me back.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the brand it's kind of weird nowadays with the lockdown. Because I guess I constantly talk to myself in my head, which is not a good sign. And then I talk to microphone. I talk to the back of my cell phone during live sessions. And I talk into a camera during live sessions as well. So yeah, that's it. So today, you guys might be expecting that we are going to record one of our fundamental series.
Nope.
As I work mysteriously sometimes. No, I guess I'm just moody. I don't feel like doing that. So we are going to drink the old growth Anxi Guan Yin today. And there are a couple of reasons why I want to drink this tea today. Well, first of all is to kind of break up the structure a little bit. And second is to taste out the tea, honestly, because the tea actually just arrived. And even if it's a tea that we think we know, before we put it on our shelf, in this case will be internet, our website to sell, we should actually get to know the tea before we put anything on the shelf. And so that's also one of the reasons why I want to do that. And then there's another reason which I will drink the tea and keep talking about that then. As I say, I work kind of mysteriously. All right. So I'm brewing in a Yixin teapot today. So I think we haven't had this old growth Anxi Guan Yin in for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a little while.
And it has been the same batch since we got it in 2017, I believe, while I was filming the Dongding miniature documentary with Jake. And I think that might be the first time I encountered this tea. Not sure, whatever.
And we've had it off and on since then.
Yeah.
And it's actually 2014 tea. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a 2014 tea. And even it's the same tea that we have been getting in the past 2 to 3 years. Today I'm smelling it started to shift a little bit, more on the, I think it's aging a little bit. So there's that the kind of like 乳酸.
Yeah.
Yeah, sourness.
The way I was kind of thinking of it in my head is like a yeasty bread kind of
yeast kind of 酸酸的 yeast. 酸 is a bit like kind of like sour, fermenty kind of a feeling on the smell right now. And it's a bit milky on
milky.
The smell.
The scent feels more pillowy and soft than it did when before.
Tastes really milky and tastes heavier. I think it's shifting quite a lot right now. Or maybe the way I brew it, because lately my tea have been quite strong.
But definitely the tea's different. The tea feels really different.
It feels more mature. Before there was a lightness in this tea.
Like a greenness.
Yeah, and now it feels more mature. Yeah. Very interesting. But still the broth is puff, soft, very clean. And this is one of the big features that we continue off and on to carry this tea is how clean this tea can feel. There's so much of a clarity in this tea that I think is a great tea for some people who want to get to know organic teas, who want to get to know a good organic tea. And on the top of that, it's not just organic tea, it's a old growth organic tea, which means the plants are very old and then they try not to interfere with the growing at all. So the bushes are all, they just let nature pretty much to do its work on the tea plants. And there's a very specific feeling on that part.
In a way, this is also a really good teaching tea because kind of like the Dongding, everything that it's doing is relatively clear. Like the angle in the throat is relatively clear. Like when we did the episode of Loshan Hongshui versus Dongding, the Loshan was so kind of melty and soft that's almost hard to see. This one actually is pretty clear as the angle goes down the throat, as it puffs up in the mouth. there's a really nice kind of ball-shaped puffing feeling towards the back of my mouth, throat area. It just stays really obviously there after I swallow the tea in the aftertaste. But it's more gentle than the dongting.
Yeah. And let's see what the second infusion plays out.
I really like the way it's changed.
Yeah, it smells like honey right now, but like different honey than the Oriental Beauty honey. It smells like honey water to me. Yeah.
Just a really gentle honey fragrance.
And I guess since we are not doing the structure episode today, but we can still apply all the things that we have been talked about inside of this episode with one single tea.
Yeah.
In a way. So smell, it passed the nostril and then really floaty style of way to expand into the head. I actually couldn't see a very clear route because it's more like a mist kind of expansion into the brain style. Texture, let's see. Yeah, covers the mouth really well. The tongue, in a soft way, is everywhere. As you say, it puff up a little bit to the rooftop, and it touch the throat really gently too. The moment that I'm swallowing the tea, also very gently, and then in a way, is for me this tea's expansion is very soft. Like as I feel, it's more like that mist, that cloud. The moment the liquid is reached down into the stomach without any trouble, is in a way also expand very gently, almost like you say, like pillow, cushion, whatever, like puff up into my chest, but in a very, very soft way. It's a really soft, beautiful tea. Yeah. Aftertaste. Salivation is constant, not as aggressive as dongting, for example, but it's salivating right away and still lasting this long right now. An empty cup, the scent has no problem going into my head. I would say this expansion give me a feeling that this tea has a lot of grace, grace. It moves beautifully. It moves really beautifully. Soft, consistent, puffy. Beautiful tea. Feels very clean. For some of you guys who know that we have one of our teachers called Mr. Lai. He actually curated this tea and he lightly roasted this tea with charcoal. And when he is doing charcoal fire, his approach is different from his own teacher and also our teacher, Mr. Zhang. Teacher used a stronger way to do the tea. Sometimes he can also play very gently, and he likes to, in a way, I feel like Mr. Zhang teacher like to play with fire a little bit more liberately or deliberately. Yeah. And then Mr. Lai strike me as a person who has a lot of discipline. He likes things a very certain way. A very sensitive man and careful man, I would say. So you can see with his tea, there's that space that when you can find it is very quiet in his tea and very clean. I can tell he's a very meticulous, clean person. You can see that on his tea table, and you can see Teacher Zhang is a little bit more whatever kind of a man also on his tea table. It's actually quite exciting to see a tea that I have been drinking for 2 years that is taken to a different direction. It feels darker now for sure. And that like greenness, as you mentioned, Noah, it's, I think, pretty much completely gone in today's infusion. Maybe next week say, hey, you guys know what? I just show up. Tea can play tricks like this to people.
It used to have a sharpness about it that made it kind of difficult to brew. And maybe, I mean, you're doing a really good job brewing it today. But it feels like it's just not there at all, that sharpness.
It feels warmer.
Yeah.
The tea feels warmer now. There's that rich, almost like there's that warm, because honey always remind me of a warm tone to it. And today, a lot of honey show up in the smell to me. Maybe just me. And maybe I was just eating a little bit honey 10 minutes before we are set to do the recording. But the tea feels warmer for sure. I think it's turning darker now.
Yeah.
And then the greenness today totally disappeared for me. And maybe we should come back to it. Not maybe we should come back to it again. And to see if the greenness will show up. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Tea is not me mysterious. Tea is mysterious. Hey, so two mysterious things combined together, guess what? Double mysterious. That is totally not making sense. Okay, nobody's laughing, I guess.
I'm just feeling the tea. It feels really good.
In what way?
The word clarity just comes up again. Mm-hmm. It feels like I can imagine the way it expands as like the meat, and then there's the bone that's kind of the...
What?
There's kind of the bone that's like the structure of the tea that kind of holds it all together.
Are you talking about human anatomy?
No, I'm talking about the tea.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
There's like this, just a really clear feeling of soft expansion, and then there's the kind of more firm structure of the tea just really clearly laid out in the, yeah.
I think I can get what you are saying. I mean, this tea is, the expansion part is very soft to me. And that's why I keep saying it's more like, mist pillow, kind of puffy stuff moving. And yet at the same time, there is that Tie Guan Yin metal.
Almost hardness to it.
It showing up in the background. So there's a hardness about this tea that is in the background. And maybe that's what you mean by the bone.
Yeah.
And then the muscle expansion and that kind of stuff. Because if you mention another soft tea, there will be our Lo Shan Hong Shui. And its expansion is totally different. That it's very
really
hard
different.
to detect.
Yeah. It's so soft that you almost, if you're not really careful, you almost miss it. Mm-hmm. But this one doesn't have that problem.
Yeah, this one, I think if you stay quiet enough, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can see it moving. Yeah. And so those teas are very wonderful teas as more of a learning guiding teas, because actually you get to see it. And I think the liquid is darker now, huh?
Yeah.
I have to ask him if he actually gently touch it up again before he send it out. Maybe. But you can still hardly taste the roast though. That's his work.
Not really.
Yeah, you cannot taste that it's actually a roasted tea very much.
You can only tell by the way that it's contained. Because an unroasted tea, an unroasted oolong tea has that kind of like wild quality to it. Mm-hmm. And this tea is like a well-maintained tree, you know? Never felt so much expansion in this tea before.
It's different presentation, huh? It's almost like a different tea, actually. Yeah. We should rewrite the description.
Description, for sure.
Yeah.
But it has that same feeling as it did before, that kind of like almost bubbling up into the brain feeling.
Bubbling up into the brain.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of like a...
champagne.
Yeah. No. Kind of. Or I was thinking more of kind of a really small amount of water bubbling up through the earth. But champagne sounds good too.
Champagne might be a little bit too bright of a description, but it does have that. Some of the champagne does almost have a little bit honey flower kind of a smell to it.
And bubbling for sure.
Yeah, and bubbling for sure. But the salivation totally is that style. It's the ground oozing out water style.
Yeah.
It's a well-maintained tea. You are correct. This tea feels like, even though kind of sounds weird, huh? It's expanding, and yet the structure is really well, finely put together that it won't let it go too wild and too far.
Yeah, I see, and this is kind of weird. I see like fat, like a fat piece of meat that's been wrapped with twine. Oh. Into a certain structure before you roast it.
Sorry if you guys are vegan or vegetarian.
But that's just the image that I see. So when I said I see bone and meat, I really do see, and it's not a meaty tea really, but
It's not. Actually, this tea for me is it have nothing to feel with meat
not
at all.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite a soft and feminine tea to me.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. Pretty. That's a word
Yeah.
that I'll use on this tea. Very quiet, very pretty, and very well behaved.
Yeah.
Content tea. It's beautiful.
It just has this like plumpness that it didn't have before. Really good brewing today.
Yeah. But there's that bitterness I have though for like 2 weeks
Yeah,
now. Any
true.
tea that it comes to my hands nowadays, I think the energy opens up and then there's that on the back of the tongue bitter taste showing up every single tea for me.
I don't see that so much as a but an and. It's a good tea, but there's that bitterness. It's just like it really good brewing today. But and there is also that bitter feeling.
Oh, I thought you were saying B-U-T-T and I
No.
was like, what the heck are you saying?
I'm not talking about but.
It's my dirty mind. Sorry, everybody.
dirty. No, just really, really beautiful presentation of this tea.
There's that beauty to it, huh? There's that word that keep coming into my mind today. It's beautiful.
I find that presentation of the throat sensation as it spreads to the back of the neck and up to the crown of the head is really obvious for me.
From this tea?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Because I didn't sense that too much today.
I usually don't sense that very much in a tea. It's usually you say that, but today I feel it really,
Excellent.
really clearly.
Yay.
And then the kind of stimulation of the aftertaste all the way to the underneath the ears.
Beautiful tea. And now I'm seeing that actually that bitterness as a courage. Seriously, I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
can tell.
I think it's a courage. It's a tea that is telling us. No wonder I want to drink this tea so much. Because I've been trying to figure out why is my tea tasting bitter for 2 weeks now. And now the bitter is telling me that it's courage. So it's telling me to have courage to move forward and to have the clarity to move forward. And I hope there's a message for all of you guys too. Wherever you are at, we are very connected and hopefully your tea at least give you some joy and some warmth, some sweetness, some puffy cushion, some mountain views, some water views, whatever. Let your tea take you to many different places. And tea can obviously today give me some courage to tell me to move forward. And I have been trying to move forward for over 2 months. And what a delightful message. And what a delightful tea. So we'll be updating this tea on our website, the Old Growth Anxi Tie Guan Yin. And we look forward to share this tea with many of you. And that's it. Please stay well, healthy, and safe. We'll be on also live sessions over the internet on Instagram and Facebook on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I think that's it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Continue to drink your tea every day and drink a good pot of tea every day. It's good for you. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.